We all have wild driving stories, but nothing can compare to this video, which caught almost the last moments of this father and son.
Slow.
Dad, no.
Yes, we're out.
We're not out.
We're good though.
What? Dad.
Easy.
This father and son planned a forest hike in Glacier National Park, just as the intense forest fires hit that region.
Easy. Easy.
Oh my God.
Keep going. Go. Easy. Easy. Now, easy.
Dad, the car's heating up. It's gonna explode.
You're all right.
Oh, Jesus, God, help us.
Just.
Dad, what if a tree falls on us?
Okay, slow.
Please, God, help us.
Yeah.
Dad, we can't get out.
I'm getting out. You can't drive backward. We get that out of the road. We get gloves.
Oh my God, stop.
As if that wasn't terrifying enough, the car reaches a dead end with a fallen tree blocking the path. The son panics and wants to run away, a clear sign of the flight response. However, the father manages to calm him down.
Stop. Dad, we gotta get out of here.
Back it up.
Dad, we gotta get out of here.
Right, back up. Watching her. Back up.
They back up the car, and by some miracle, no tree falls behind them. The story ends happily, but things could have gone quite easily terribly wrong. This man was on hiking in the forest when he encountered something bizarre.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is some kind of fungus. And if I touch this, see it all move? And it really starts moving like that when the sun hits it. But I've never seen anything so weird before. Kind of looks like a bunch of ants moving things, but it's the plant or the fungus that's doing that. Nothing in there causing it to move. Kind of cool. I'm gonna touch it one more time. There you go.
Science fair project.
I've never seen anything like this. The mass even has silver-colored roots or tentacles spreading out around it, almost plant-like, but far too eerie. If I were the cameraman, my next step would be to burn this thing to ashes, because whatever it is, it definitely doesn't look human-friendly. Does anyone have any idea what this thing is? These guys were coming back from a night out, driving on a road from India named Ghat Road, famous for disturbing sightings. They do that as a joke, however, they managed to catch something. They see something bizarre. A figure dressed in all red, just simply walking by in the middle of the night. There have been reported cases of other ghostly sightings on that road, but no one knows the reason why. Could that figure dressed in red be the lost soul people report seeing there? This footage captured one of the most tragic events that could have been avoided. This is a warning. Viewer discretion is advised. If we slow down the video, we can clearly see what caused the crash. A plane. A plane hit the highway head-on. This shocking event took place in Russia when Red Wings Flight 9268 crashed onto the highway after suffering brake failure during landing. The lucky thing is that there were no passengers on board. The car's driver, who was hit by the plane's landing gear, sustained serious injuries but survived. However, although the plane had no passengers, it had a crew. The captain, first officer, flight engineer, and 2 flight attendants died, leaving only 3 survivors out of the 8-person crew on board. A tragic event that could have been avoided with few more brake checks. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. The debate about whether cryptids actually exist has been raging on for years. But a hiker managed to capture something bizarre that could give credit to cryptid sighting. In the photo, you can see this strange 4-legged animal lying on the ground with a mouth that looks like it belongs to a full-blown predator, wide open, ready to tear into something. But what's really freaky is the lower half of its body. It's got a long, rat-like tail and tiny, almost shriveled hind legs. Also, it has no fur at all. It's completely bald, giving it this eerie, almost alien-like vibe. People who've seen this photo have gone wild with speculation. Some say it's the legendary chupacabra, that blood-sucking creature straight out of nightmares. Whatever it might be, do you really want to bump into that on a midnight hike? The footage you are about to see is from Savannah Brotherton, a resident who had a terrifying experience on a Friday night. After a few failed attempts, this guy just throws himself backward onto the fence, bending his body in this unnerving, zombie-like way. The man was found in the morning in a ditch and was taken by the police. But the whole event left the homeowner disturbed. Was this guy drunk on something? Who knows what would have happened if he got inside the house? The disturbing footage you are about to see is from a homeowner who claims his doorbell camera saved his life. At around 3 in the morning, the family inside the house were woken up by their phone application linked to the camera, notifying them that there was motion at the front door. The phone notified them 3 to 4 times before they finally woke up.
Oh, shit! Ow!
The man tries to put the fire out. However, it is far too late. The fire has engulfed a large part of the house. His fiancée called the emergency number, and they did manage to leave the house through the back door. Most of the house was damaged in that fire. However, things could have turned tragic if the homeowner did not get notified by the security camera. When it comes to dealing with humans, you really never know what's going to happen. This next bizarre footage comes from Queensland, where a woman had a terrifying encounter. The footage shows a man walking right in the middle of the road, completely ignoring her car. As the woman tries to carefully pass by him, something sets this guy off. This might seem random, however. At the beginning of the clip, you notice a second person behind the man. This woman had this plan with the man. The man would get in front of the car, while the woman would get behind it, engaging the car's safety feature of stopping as to not hit anyone. This made the driver's car essentially trapped, easy to rob. The man then also attempted to open the passenger side of her car, but the doors were locked. Thankfully, the car's safety system allowed her at some point to go forward, which saved her. The street this happened on has 2 retirement villages on each side. There are a lot of elderly people going in and out, victims that this couple were waiting for. This bizarre footage caught something unexpected. In the footage, you can spot a shadowy humanoid figure walking down the street in broad daylight on Vickers Hill, Armagh in the United Kingdoms. What makes this so bizarre is that the figure looks like a man dressed in a suit, but the moment he appears out of thin air, he crosses the street and then vanishes just as suddenly, disappearing near the fence, like he was never there. The way this figure moves, fading in and out of existence, feels almost unreal. It's the kind of thing that makes you question what you're actually seeing. Is it a glitch in the camera, or is something more otherworldly at play here? Always double check your doors and windows before stepping through them. After the bite, he instinctively rushed inside the house, and that's where the video cuts off. It all happened so fast, I doubt the poor guy ever expected his day to end with a sneaky snake attack. Hopefully, the snake was not venomous, otherwise this man is in a lot of trouble. An unsettling incident took place on a dark road in Sunnybank Hills. Sensing the danger, the driver makes a quick decision. He takes a sharp U-turn and speeds off, narrowly escaping whatever dark intentions this mysterious figure had. The couple inside the car suggested that could have been a hijacking, rather than an alleged insurance fraud, as many claimed online. So the couple was in real danger. The lesson here: never stop for someone like that. Do exactly what this driver did. Stay safe, trust your instincts, and get out of there. This video captures one of those eerie rings appearing over Tampa Bay just last night, and it's left everyone scratching their heads.
look at the smoke.
What the fuck?
Dude, that's some fucking alien shit.
No, I've been seeing that all over the internet though.
Did you get a good video of it?
What's even stranger is that similar rings have been seen in places like Virginia, Pakistan, and a few other spots around the world. Some people are even suggesting it's linked to aliens. I did a little digging. Turns out, these black rings, technically called air vortices, are often caused by things like missiles, fireworks, or explosions, which would explain the smoky appearance. But still, seeing something like that hanging above you, it feels totally unreal and bizarre, like something out of a movie. What do you think? Alien encounter or just a freaky natural phenomenon? If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. A homeowner was enjoying a peaceful vacation when they got an unexpected notification from their home's Ring camera. But when they checked the footage, what they saw left them completely shocked. You can hear faint growling noises behind the camera, followed by the unsettling sound of wood creaking. But those growls, if you listen carefully, seem to be words, like "let me in" or "leave." Now the real question is, what should the homeowner do? Call the police or a priest? Up next, we have another eerie Ring camera clip, but this time it shows what seems to be a strange, otherworldly visitor. This video comes from Austin, showing the front of a house as captured by the Ring camera. It's nighttime, and after a few seconds, something zips across the frame, followed by a mysterious knocking sound. When you slow down the footage, you can make out what looks like some kind of serpent darting by. But here's the bizarre part. About an hour later, it comes back, slithering past the camera again, and knocking on the door. If we're assuming this is just a regular snake, how in the world is it knocking on the door like that? What do you think, an actual snake or something much stranger at play? When it comes to capturing the unexpected, trail cameras are way to go. But this thermal trail camera captured a bizarre thing. The clip you just watched comes from a thermal trail camera, which was originally set up to monitor the local deer population, but ended up catching something far more unsettling. It's got a near humanoid shape, with a head and a lower body, but the head is oddly elongated. This thing almost looks like a ghost, or one of those aliens you see in internet conspiracy theories. What do you think it is? These guys had one terrifying encounter while on a boat trip. The tiger stopped its charge mid-tack and backed off. The essential part was them not fleeing. Warning, if you're not a fan of bugs, you might want to skip this next video. But if you're brave enough, brace yourself for what's coming. This truly disgusting clip was uploaded online, and it's no surprise it's left many of us feeling mentally disturbed. A horrifying clump of tons of cockroaches crammed into that tiny space. It's almost like a brick of these creepy pests, with nearly all of them dead. It's pretty bizarre, but it serves as a stark reminder to always check the covers of your electrical devices. You never know what you might find lurking behind them. This parent made a terrifying discovery when they went to see what their kid was drawing.
Elliot, what are you doing?
I'm drawing a picture.
Oh, that's cool. What's that? What's that in the corner?
The man hanging.
Oh, why have you drawn that?
Because the man is hanging there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
You know it's me at night.
Why?
Because he does this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'm not allowed to tell anybody.
The child had drawn a terrifying picture of a man hanging there. Because of this, the next day, the worried father decides to set up a nanny cam in his child's room, and what it captured that night was absolutely horrifying.
Stop it. He's scared.
This almost feels like a horror movie, only it's happening in real life. My advice for this father, just leave the house. That unknown friend might not be so good for your kid. The woods offer a sense of peaceful isolation, a place to escape the world. But what if that feeling is an illusion? What if, hidden within the quiet, there are secrets that will prove everything we think is safe is a lie?
Did that just get you?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Did you see it? Watch closely. Blink, and you might miss it. A cloaked figure streaking past the hiker. The sudden shift in the man's tone confirms he saw it too. So what is it? A bizarre prank or something far more unsettling? Perhaps a glitch in our reality? A hint of a hidden world overlapping with our own? Or truly an invisible man? Maybe we will never know, but one thing is certain. The familiar comfort of the woods is forever tainted. Next time I am out in the wild, I will carry the unsettling memory of this footage. A chilling reminder that the feeling of solitude might be a dangerous illusion. Sometimes, what scares us most isn't what we can't see. It's what's right in front of us. Under construction sites, like old abandoned places, hold a strange unease. It's something I can't quite explain. This person makes his way through the unfinished house at night, his camera light cutting through the darkness. Something stirs in the darkness, just beyond his vision. He turns the camera and captures this. Honestly, I've seen my share of the bizarre, but this is chilling. No guess I can make seems to fit. It's definitely not human. What person would linger in darkness like that? And it seems completely unfazed by the human. That stare directly into the camera is haunting. Is this the proof we've been looking for? Are there truly aliens among us? Whatever that creature is, I can't blame the person for leaving in a hurry. That's exactly what I would have done. Our next video underscores the fragility of life. One moment, everything seems normal. The next, disaster strikes. This man pauses on a mountain road where a few rocks have fallen. He's inspecting them, trying to gauge where they came from. He watches the slope above warily. For a reason we can't see, he turns and sprints back to his car, reversing with frantic urgency. Just seconds later, we see why. A massive landslide tears down the mountainside, right where he stood. Had he not glanced up, had he hesitated, the ending could have been tragic. Fate had a different plan that day, but it's a stark reminder, against the raw power of nature, we are truly vulnerable. Back to the spine-chilling world of abandoned houses. Take it from me. I wouldn't set foot in one alone, not even with a flashlight and a baseball bat, especially not at night. Seriously, count me out. Clearly, this place is deserted. So why on earth would someone be there in the dark? And what the hell is that thing? Why zoom in when you should be running for your life? This is creepy on so many levels. Is it a doll? A dog? Why does it have that unsettling grin, staring right at the camera? Sure, the video quality isn't great, but for some reason, this feels real. It sends shivers down my spine, like that thing knows exactly who I am and where to find me. Sinister doesn't even begin to describe it. Maybe it's the 2020's answer to Chucky, just as horrifying. Ghosts, aliens, you name it. Nothing tops the danger of human stupidity. More lives are lost to bad decisions than anything else, I bet.
Alright, I zoomed in. This was exciting. Oh my god!
Seriously, look at the size of that snake. Why tempt fate, especially with zero protection? The lady yelling, "Don't get bit." She's got the right idea. This is why women generally outlive men.
She gonna get bit. Yeah, let her bite herself so that
Let it go, dude. Surprise. You got bit. That's what happens when you mess with wild animals. They're unpredictable and dangerous for a reason. Next time you see something like this, back away and call the expert. Let them handle it. Trying to be a hero is a recipe for a hospital visit. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. We humans often forget our place in the grand scheme of things. We encroach on wild spaces, exploit natural resources, and show a blatant disregard for the world around us. But sometimes, nature finds its own ways to push back. Not always with cataclysmic events, but with something far more cunning.
Hey! Hey, no, no, no! No!
This fox is on a mission of vengeance. It targets the very symbol of our intrusion, the camera, and there's an undeniable humor to this. This fox knows exactly what it's doing. It wastes no time and goes straight for the source. A few calculated bites, a peek into its cavernous maw, and the deed is done. It vanishes as quickly as it arrived. The camera? Damaged. But not destroyed. A subtle warning, perhaps. It's a reminder. Respect the wild, and it might just spare you the worst of its wrath. The wonders of nature never cease to amaze us. We often imagine how bizarre aliens might be, but sometimes the strangest creatures are right here on Earth. Take a look at what this fisherman found in a Chinese river. Is it a massive snake, some unknown type of alligator, or something completely undiscovered? It shares traits with so many different creatures. Snake, alligator, even hints of a frog. Whatever it is, it's both fascinating and unsettling. The muddy water makes it hard to gauge its true size, adding to the mystery. But one thing's odd. The fisherman acts like this is an ordinary encounter. He sounds almost casual. Does he know this creature? Is it somehow familiar? There's an eerie calmness to his reaction. Let's just hope he knows what he's dealing with, and that this video doesn't have a grim ending. From the bizarre world of unknown creatures to the familiar realm of human recklessness. Why can't we learn to respect the dangers of the wild? At first glance, you might think this guy caught a big fish. There's excitement in the air, the illusion of safety. But he's not grappling with dinner. He's hooked a shark, and he's in a tiny kayak, while his friends cheer him on from their boat. See how it tows him around? Any moment, he could capsize, ending up right in its jaws. And there you go. He's in the water, just inches from the shark. Panic is understandable. The shark is still on the line, and he's intent on resuming this insane duel. A single bite could change his life, or end it. Is the thrill really worth that risk? This is arrogance in its purest form. We must learn to coexist with nature or face the consequences. I hope good sense prevails. As I said, the strangest creatures aren't on distant planets. They're lurking right here in our oceans. Take a look at this footage from Peg Island in Croatia. Honestly, would you ever have dreamed something like this exists? I wouldn't. At least not outside a microscope. If those strands weren't wriggling like that, you might mistake it for a strange fruit or flower. But look at the way they move, as if caught in an invisible current. It's deeply unsettling. Now, this thing is tiny, but imagine it's scaled up 5 or 10 feet long. Would you go anywhere near it? It's like those horrifying, all-consuming aliens from science fiction movies. Mother Nature is truly mind-boggling, and just a little terrifying. Let's just hope this creature stays small, and remains confined to the deep seas. Moving on from the strange to the downright spooky. Now, this is police dashcam footage, so I'm assuming what we're about to see is the real deal. Just a quiet, country road at night. Then, out of nowhere, this white, hazy shape materializes in the middle of the road, and the car passes straight through it. Did you catch that? The officer definitely did. Look, he's stopping, turning around to investigate. And this time, you can almost make out a human-shaped figure. It crosses the road, then simply, if you missed it, let's slow things down. Videos like this throw all my assumptions out the window. Could it be a spirit? Is this a glimpse of what awaits us after death? Do we retain our forms, wandering unseen forever? If so, with all the souls throughout history, why are sightings so rare? Or is this some strange trick of the light and I'm just getting carried away? Spooky stuff tends to do that to me. Either way, you decide. From spooky to downright unsettling. They definitely resemble worms, but that inky black color is so alien. Maybe all those sci-fi movies have me primed to see space creatures everywhere. Jokes aside, I've never encountered anything quite like this. There's something deeply unsettling about them. Why are they huddled together like that? Most worms you see are solitary, or scattered unless they're trapped in a confined space. Here they're in the open, clustered by choice. Honestly, I can't come up with a logical reason. These creatures give me major creeps. Back to the beaches. Next stop, the beautiful beaches of South Goa, India. But pristine sands can hide unexpected things. Forget love letters tucked inside bottles. This one is a living ecosystem. Snails and other creatures encrust the glass. It's less romantic, more fascinatingly gross. See how those shell-covered things squirm and wriggle. Maybe there's treasure inside, or a forgotten message. From the bizarre to the heartwarming. In the wild, a dog would be a lion's snack, not a friend. But here, surprisingly, they seem like the best of companions. The mighty lion, so gently, taking the dog's paw. The dog stands firm, and when it walks away, the lion follows, persistent. Nature, as we constantly discover, balances cruelty with unexpected tenderness. Even wild creatures, so seemingly fierce, teach us lessons about gentleness and friendship. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. Back to India, this time to Tamil Nadu, where we witness yet another of nature's incredible oddities, reminding us that reality can be far stranger than fiction. A cow has given birth, and the entire village has gathered to see the new calf. But there's a reason for the crowd. This is no ordinary newborn. Take a look. It has two heads, and unlike conjoined twins we sometimes see, these heads aren't fused in any way. It's more like a single body with two completely separate faces, each seemingly with a mind of its own. Truly astonishing. How does this happen? Is it a case of random mutation, or part of some design we're too limited to comprehend? Nature continues to surprise and challenge us, reminding us that, for all our knowledge, the universe remains fundamentally mysterious and awe-inspiring. Alright, hold on to your hats.
What is it, a iguana or?
It's a bearded dragon.
It's a bearded dragon?
Bearded dragon, yeah.
This bearded dragon has one body, two heads. Does it spark a memory? Anyone remember that cartoon, Dragon Tales? These guys aren't just a real-life version of those conjoined dragons. They even share their names. Zack and Wheezy. Adorable, right? But here's an even more interesting part. Their owner has a big family. 6 kids and 6 grandkids. And she was offered $78,000 for the twins. Yet she refused. Money can't buy everything, she said. It's heartening to find this kind of compassion, a reminder that even amidst the harsh realities of the world, human empathy endures. Okay, back into the weird world of worms. Just give me a moment to shake off those heebie-jeebies. They linger. Honestly, who would keep these things in a jar? What's the appeal? Okay, let's examine this. It's worm-shaped, but with a tail. That's already unsettling. And what on earth are those black dots? Not eyes. Horns? This is a whole new level of bizarre. Turns out I may have a touch of sclerophobia, that's fear of worms. Definitely time to move on. We all need that chill-out time, even animals. Forget fancy spays. Sometimes you make do with what you've got. Check out this giant anteater taking a late-night dip. We're not so different from our furry, scaly, or feathered friends. At the end of the day, simple pleasures are the best. There's something so calming about a good bath. I'm getting relaxed just watching. See how it basks in the cool water. No worries. Just enjoying some well-deserved alone time. Let's all take a moment with this anteater. Almost makes me want to ditch everything for a long soak of my own. Especially after all those creepy worms from earlier. Sadly, amazing creatures like this giant anteater are vulnerable to extinction. That's why organizations like the People's Trust for Endangered Species are so important. Their work protects animals just like this. If you enjoyed this clip, consider donating to them to help protect these incredible creatures. Next up, a creature that proves looks can be deceiving.
You got ready? Put it in there. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Do it again, do it again, do it again.
At first glance, a squid seems all graceful and flowing. But that appearance hides a shocking truth. Let's see what happens when they get hold of a soda can. Did you see that? It didn't just crush it. It took a clean bite. Wore a chunk right out. That's some serious jaw power. See it go in for another. And again. Imagine if that were your finger instead of metal. Bottom line. If you ever see one of these in the wild, admire from a distance. Trust me. Let's end with a glimpse of the giant anteater in its natural habitat. Check it out. With that shaggy fur and crazy long snout, it looks like something straight out of a prehistoric picture book. But its odd appearance is deceptive. It's clumsy, yet oddly graceful, a total contradiction. And hear that sound it makes when threatened. Magnificent in its own strange way. Wouldn't you agree? These amazing creatures deserve to thrive alongside us. We can all play a part in protecting them. Please consider donating to the People's Trust for Endangered Species. Together, we can make a difference for animals like this. This hiker's video looks like something straight out of a scary story. It shows a dark forest at night, but what's truly chilling is a pair of glowing red eyes peering back from the distance. The faint outline of a figure suggests something humanoid, but the darkness hides its details. Those eyes, though burning red and filled with an unsettling feeling, hold the hiker's attention for a tense few moments, the eyes stare right at the camera, sending shivers down your spine. Then, in a movement that makes the blood run cold, the figure raises a hand as if in warning. The video cuts out abruptly, leaving us wondering what happened next. Did the hiker flee in terror? This encounter is a reminder of the strange and mysterious things that might lurk in the deep woods, especially at night. Hikers often stumble upon amazing sights in nature, but this encounter might be a bit too realistic. A hiker recently captured footage of a strange figure standing in the woods, so lifelike it nearly gave him a heart attack. The video shows a tall wooden figure with what seems like a tiny person inside. As the hiker gets closer, they discover it's not a magical creature, but an incredibly detailed and realistic statue. The carving is so lifelike, it could easily be mistaken for a mythical forest spirit. While the encounter was certainly surprising, the statue's craftsmanship is truly impressive. The intricate details and beautiful artistry are undeniable. However, I suggest that the artist might want to reconsider placing such realistic artwork deep in the woods, as it could be quite a shock for unsuspecting hikers. These beachgoers in Finland wouldn't have imagined in their wildest dreams what they would encounter at the beach that day. What is that? Do you have any explanation for it? If a menacing storm descending from the mountains and smothering the light in its path isn't terrifying enough, what are those sounds? Not thunder or lightning. Not saying thunder or lightning are not scary enough. But this is something far more unsettling. Those chilling cries defy explanation. Could it be some otherworldly ritual gone wrong? Or was it a chorus of the damned from the underworld, but coming from the above? Who knows what's lurking within that storm? Let's just say we are happy we were not there that day. Our next clip takes us to Indonesia, where the boundary between myth and reality blurs. We've explored a mere 5% of our oceans, leaving the rest a vast, mysterious expanse. What secrets could those depths conceal? For centuries, tales of ocean creatures have haunted our imaginations. But are they mere legends, or is there a chilling truth beneath the waves? Let's dive into the clip and see what it is. The video begins with a few people gathered around a dead fish that's washed ashore. The chatter among the men hints at strange familiarity, yet they are also curious enough to record it. What makes this dead fish so startling? Look closely at its human face. Yes, you heard me right. This dead fish has an eerily humanoid face. Could this be a glimpse into the true origin of mermaid legends? If such a creature exists, what else lurks in the unexplored abyss? Could monstrous krakens and colossal sea serpents be more than mere fables? The mere thought is enough to send shivers down your spine. We've all seen those scary zombie movies, but this real-life clip might give you nightmares. Get ready for a seriously creepy desert encounter. This is some seriously unsettling footage. A zombie camel in the desert. Yes, a zombie camel. Check out its rotting face. Those creepily glowing red eyes. And its jaw hanging open to show the bones? And what's with that gross greenish color? Don't even get me started on those echoing groans. They sound straight out of a horror movie, It's enough to make you shiver. Is this even real or some seriously talented special effect? Honestly, I hope it's fake, because the idea of zombie camels roaming the desert is terrifying. From the desert to the ocean, our next clip comes from Thailand.
ตัวอะไรอยู่ในทะเลนี่ตัวอะไรอ่ะ
Imagine strolling along the beach when you see this, a shockingly pink blob washed ashore. What is that? And how is it even moving like that? It's like something out of a sci-fi nightmare, a shape-shifting sinister alien. Every time the woman prods it, it quivers, as if alive. But there are no eyes, no mouth, nothing to identify it. If I were her, I'd be running in the opposite direction. Too many horror movies have taught me better. This just makes you wonder what other bizarre creatures our vast oceans might be hiding. I find this next video really troubling. As humans, we're clearly the dominant species on Earth, but often that doesn't seem to translate to responsible behavior. You can see a large hole being drilled into a hillside, and there's a bear inside. The bear looks terrified and agitated. It's hard to know exactly what's happening. Part of me hopes they're rescuing a trapped bear, but another part whys they're encroaching on its home. It's heartbreaking to see that fear on the bear's face. You can see it howling and even trying to fight back against the drilling. When the hole's wide enough, the bear doesn't immediately dash to freedom. It pauses, almost like it's making a point before finally running off. It's tough to say for sure what happened. Maybe this was a rescue, but maybe not. It's a sad reminder of how our actions can impact wildlife. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. This next video takes a shocking turn and shows how interfering with nature can backfire. When you imagine riding motorcycles through the forest, wild animals might come to mind, but this is something else entirely. A situation that feels like something out of a different era. The video starts with terrified shouts as a group of motorcyclists are being chased on a forest trail. They're in full gear, but what they're trying to escape is truly unexpected. Take a closer look. That figure attacking them. It seems almost impossible, like a person from a remote tribe. The riders manage to escape. Even though outnumbered, the figure lingers, seemingly undeterred. It's chilling to imagine being in their place. What would have happened if they'd been caught? This is a stark reminder that we need to respect the natural world and the boundaries within it. Let's switch gears from the wild to the possibly supernatural. Do you believe in ghosts? Well, you might want to reconsider after watching this. At first, this looks like a normal room, someone's home office setup. 2 computers, one off, one playing a Joe Rogan video. But then it gets strange. The other monitor turns on by itself. Moments later, both shut down. Then, there's something moving through the room like a white, see-through shape, and the big monitor flickers back on. Someone's browsing videos, but there's nobody at the desk. It's hard to explain. Unless someone borrowed Harry Potter's invisibility cloak, there's something seriously weird going on here. Makes you wonder, next time you're out, could there be someone unseen using your computer? Or even worse, could there be something using your computer while you're right there? Or asleep? I'm honestly at a loss for words with this next video. It's definitely weird and a little unsettling. It looks like, well, a fleshy, wrinkled brain covered in tiny tubes or holes, kind of like a deflated sea sponge, but way creepier. The scary thing is, it might actually be a living creature. Now picture something 5-7 feet long. That's basically all brain. Honestly, I'd rather not think about it. Let's hope it's just some harmless fleshy sea plant. If the last ghost clip disturbed you, this one will creep you out. The camera is fixed on a hallway. A few seconds in, a strange, shadowy figure appears at the end, wearing what looks like a black robe. You can see right through it. Oddly, it seems to pass right through solid objects. Notice the pull cord near the camera at the end of the hallway. Keep your eye on it. The figure disappears into a room, then comes back. Now it gets really weird as it gets closer. It fades away, vanishing into thin air. But watch the pull cord. It seems to jerk forward as the figure fades out. That's strange. Something that can pass through walls is somehow affected by the cord. Honestly, I started out thinking this video might be faked, but now I'm not so sure. Moving on from ghosts, let's dive into something from the water. You can definitely hear the fear in this fisherman's voice. He wants off his boat and out of that river. The camera pans out, and you can see what has him spooked. Did you get a good look? Does it remind you of anything? Could it be related to the legends of the Loch Ness Monster? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing's certain, that thing is huge and it looks out of place in that river. I wouldn't blame the fisherman for being freaked out. Look at the size of his boat. That creature could easily flip it over and have him fighting for his life in seconds. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, don't play hero. Get safe as fast as you can. If the last ghost clip creeped you out, this one will spook you. We've all heard stories about cursed objects, and this homeowner learned that lesson the hard way. They bought a harmless-looking antique ashtray, and then strange things started happening. See that light flicker on and off? There's no one in the room. The owner says this started after they brought the ashtray home. Imagine finding something antique you love, only to have it bring weirdness into your house. Books flying, lights acting crazy, pets freaking out. Spooky! Next time you're tempted by a beautiful antique, remember this story. Maybe some things are better left in the past. Back to the oceans now, where another mysterious creature has washed ashore.
Google says it might be a horn shark.
A horn shark?
Or maybe a very young one or something like that.
Does this look like anything from Earth to you? It reminds me of one of those grinning ghosts from Ghostbusters. Honestly, it's almost like a creepy, smiling ceramic swan. I've never seen anything like it. One of the onlookers thinks it might be a young horn shark, but I'm not convinced. Like I have said, there's more to the ocean than meets the eye. The ocean world is stranger, creepier, and way scarier than we can imagine. This creature is only a foot or two long. Now imagine running into something like this, but 10 or 20 feet long. From something that looked like an alien, Here's something that might actually be out of this world. Strange bipedal creatures were caught on camera recently, and this footage will leave you seriously questioning what you know.
Mira. Mira, 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 mira. Oh, y ahí está el sol, ahí está el sol.
See that? Under the cold glare of streetlights, two bizarre figures move with a creepy, unnatural walk. They're small, maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, and walk upright on 2 legs. But nothing on Earth moves quite like that. It starts with the creatures on one side of the road, and within seconds one casually strolls across to the other. The other one follows soon after. The distance makes it hard to see details, but their shapes are undeniable. Are these alien visitors? Some unknown creature lurking right under our noses? Or is there some weird camera trickery going on? It looks so disturbingly real, which makes the mystery even scarier. So, what do you think? Is this proof we're not alone? Or is there some other explanation we haven't thought of yet? If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. If the last ghost clip spooked you, this one will haunt you. The scariest thing about ghost videos is that something unseen could be lurking close by. This very moment, you're safe, right? Keep your eyes on the left corner of the video, right by the window. See that dark, shadowy figure. It almost seems to be vibrating, shifting. Then it grows slightly larger and moves out of frame. That's deeply disturbing. It's not human, not by any stretch. You can see it's blurry and translucent. So what is it? Could it interact with the world? Could it mean us harm? We take our everyday lives for granted, assuming we're alone. But maybe, just maybe, things aren't as safe as we believe. What if there's a shadowy ghost figure standing right behind you? Would you even dare to turn around and find out? Dialing down from the supernatural to the natural but strange, Mother Nature never stops to amaze us. Look at these calves. They are 2 calves, but share a torso. Like Siamese or conjoined twins. They are 2 different beings, but sharing one body, as much as you feel sorry for the animal for the hardships it faces. There is something fascinating about it. Among all the creepy, scary, mysterious stuff we have seen thus far, there is something positive that we can see here. That Mother Nature is beautiful beyond our imagination, and life always finds a way. After everything we've watched, this might be the creepiest yet. What you're about to see, if it's not meticulously crafted, computer-generated imagery, should scare the living daylights out of you.
What is that?
What is that? Nothing on Earth moves with such an unnerving fluidity. The way it effortlessly scales that shed, those bizarre, unsettling limbs, and the slow, deliberate movements. It's almost like it's not used to Earth's gravity. It looks like it's still acclimating to this strange, heavy world. And its face, those extra appendages, everything about it screams alien. There's this wrongness hanging over the entire video, an eerie feeling that gets under your skin. But something's not quite right. The production quality, the soundtrack, even the clarity of the guy's voice. Maybe this is a hoax. Some twisted special effects. It has to be, because if it's not, if something like this is really out there, things are about to get a whole lot more dangerous for humankind. We've already seen how the ocean holds wonders far stranger than anything we can imagine. Here's one more example to prove it. Take a look at this bizarre creature. It's like a frog, a snail, and a fish all rolled into one. Those bulging frog eyes, the snail-like antennae, and that oddly shaped fish body. It's definitely weird, but there's an undeniable beauty to it. Even the fins are in such unexpected places. That triangular face is completely unlike anything I've seen on a fish before. Overall, this is a one-of-a-kind critter. Maybe not as creepy as some of the other things we've seen, but certainly eye-catching enough to make you wonder what else is hiding beneath the waves. Time to dial that creep factor way back up. Picture this. A beautiful snowy winter night. The perfect time to just snuggle in bed and sleep soundly. Well, that's almost what this person got to do. Until laughter shattered the silence. They peeked out and captured this. What do you see? A group of friends sharing a cozy winter moment. Absolutely not. The streets are deserted, the whole block blanketed in untouched snow. Not a soul in sight. So where'd that laughter come from? And more importantly, why is that swing moving? Who is using it, or who's using it right now? If I were that person, sleep would be off the menu tonight. Actually, I'm not sure I'll be sleeping well after seeing this either. Finally, let's end on a positive note. Amidst the unsettling and unexplained, there are moments of pure wonder. So let's turn to Mother Nature for a moment of pure joy. Isn't this incredible? A person reaches out to gently touch an octopus, and this remarkable creature responds in kind. It delicately wraps its sucker around their finger, almost like a tiny hug. It lingers for a moment as if saying, "I appreciate this." Then slowly, it releases their finger and retreats into the water. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Nature never fails to amaze us. This video, captured by a security camera, unveils a peculiar and unsettling scene unfolding during the night. The camera, likely set up to monitor the surroundings of a house, instead records an eerie encounter. A humanoid creature with glowing eyes is visible. As the figure walks down the path, it does something strange. It lies down flat on its stomach and then pushes up the front part of its body with its hands. When it does this, we can see its glowing eyes again, which adds to the creepiness of the scene. It's hard to say what this is. It does look like a person, but the behavior is very strange, and especially the glowing eyes or the hunched posture. The way it moves and the shape of its body are just not normal. You might say I am insane, but I doubt it could be human. Maybe one on some serious drugs. Filmed by a person sitting by a river under a large bridge, this video shows something unusual. It starts off peacefully, showing the bridge from below and the nice surroundings, suggesting it's a beautiful day. But then, something unexpected happens. The camera catches a glimpse of an odd figure, a humanoid creature that's hairless, gray, and doesn't look like anything typically seen. The creature's appearance is startling because it resembles what many people think of when they imagine an alien. Not from our world, mysterious, and unlike typical beings we know. It just appears out of nowhere, crosses the pillar, and then seems to disappear just as suddenly as it arrived. It's hard to say exactly what this creature is from the video alone. The fact that it looks so unusual and then vanishes without a trace adds to the mystery. It makes me wonder, are we alone in the universe, or is there another species that has been watching us all this time, and we did not notice, maybe even watching us from under our bridges? The video starts with a scene filmed by a person who is sitting in a car as they hurriedly back away from something. We soon understand why. The following seconds show a tense moment as two cars on the road are being frantically chased by a rhino. The atmosphere is charged with urgency as the massive animal charges after the cars, showcasing the unpredictability of wild encounters. As the video progresses, the perspective shifts dramatically. We are suddenly transported to the view from the back seat of one of the carts involved in the high-speed chase. From this vantage point, the footage becomes more intense and chaotic. The car is speeding away, trying desperately to escape the pursuing rhino, which is running incredibly fast, its determination evident as it seems intent on outrunning the car. If I were in that car, I would not have thought for a second to film, as I would have been scared for my life. It is such a tense situation, and I would have been more cautious when going in a safari. A lot of things could go wrong. The video, recorded by a trail camera set up in a forest, captures a lighthearted and amusing moment. It shows a black bear out for a nocturnal stroll in the woods. When the bear comes across a slim tree, it decides to use it as a scratching post to rub against and relieve an itch. What makes the scene particularly humorous is the bear's movements. As it scratches itself, turning and gyrating around the slender trunk, the bear unintentionally mimics the actions of pole dancing. The thin tree allows the bear to swing around it with ease, and its natural movements, meant purely for comfort, end up looking like a dance routine. I think the bear would have been a great pole dancer. Captured in the middle of the savannah during the night, this video shows a rare wildlife moment. We see a leopard in the midst of a hunt, focusing its attention on a porcupine. The scene unfolds with the leopard attempting to outmaneuver the porcupine to make it its meal. What turns this intense survival moment into a humorous scene is the porcupine's natural defense mechanism. The porcupine, equipped with long, dense quills, doesn't need to run or panic. It simply shifts its position slightly, making it incredibly difficult for the leopard to find a safe spot to grab without getting hurt by the sharp thorns. This interaction highlights the porcupine's unique adaptation for protection. Despite the leopard's agility and hunting prowess, it seems almost baffled and outmatched by the porcupine's prickly armor. The thorns effectively shield the smaller animal at every turn. I think that this is a humorous standoff in nature, showing that sometimes the best defense is just being unapproachably spiky. The video, recorded by a trail camera set up in a forest, captures an intriguing and rare sighting of a black coyote. Black coyotes are quite rare, making this footage particularly special. Typically, coyotes have a grayish coat, so spotting a black one is an unusual event that adds an element of rarity and interest to the video. This uncommon creature positions itself directly in front of the camera, offering a clear view of its unique behavior. The coyote begins to roll over on the ground repeatedly, which seems to be its way of scratching its back. The act of the coyote tumbling and rolling might look a bit playful or odd, but it's a common behavior often done to relieve an itch or perhaps even to mask their scent with the smells of the forest floor. These rare encounters are the reason why trail cameras are so important They show us some things that we would rarely have the opportunity to see in the normal life. Caught by a surveillance camera positioned on the stairs of an apartment building, this video showcases an unsettling scene that seems straight out of a horror movie. Initially, the footage reveals a small, dark, furry object in the hallway, which could be mistaken for a regular animal. But what happens next is far from ordinary. Out of nowhere, a bizarre humanoid creature leaps into the hallway from the stairs leading to the next floor. This sudden appearance is so shocking that it seemingly causes a short circuit, plunging the entire area into darkness. Despite the brief and chaotic nature of the encounter, the camera manages to catch a fleeting glimpse of this eerie entity. The creature is tall and skinny, with a grayish skin tone that gives it an otherworldly appearance. Its head is disproportionately large, bald, and its features are unnervingly alien-like. The abruptness of the creature's appearance, combined with the subsequent power outage, amplifies the creepy atmosphere of the footage. This video leaves me with more questions than answers. What could that creature be? Is it real? Could this video be fake? I don't know what to think. Filmed by archaeologists outside during the night, this video will give you the chills. The only source of light is a flashlight, as they are clearly working on uncovering something hidden in the dirt. The atmosphere is already tense, given the context and the darkness surrounding them. As the person recording adjusts the camera, it inadvertently captures something chilling in the background. A set of red glowing eyes, lurking in the darkness just a few feet away from where the ritual is taking place. The abrupt discovery of these glowing red eyes in the near total darkness sends a jolt of fear through the spine. The intensity of the moment escalates dramatically when the cameraman realizes they're not alone. His reaction is very dramatic as he's overtaken by fear. With heart-pounding urgency, he does what most would in a moment of sheer terror. He runs, desperately wanting to escape from that place. I wonder what creature was lurking in the dark. Could it possibly be a ghost protecting whatever they were about to dig out of the earth? Curious and captivating presence. The hiker who shared this video insists that the creature is none other than Bigfoot, a claim supported by reports from nearby camps. If what the hiker says holds true, then we may just have a rare and remarkable sighting of this elusive creature on our hands. Just like the mysteries that dwell within our forests, the depths of our oceans hold secrets beyond our imagination. They say we've only explored a mere 5% of the ocean, leaving the rest to speculation, and this video is a testament to why. This video was recorded on a California beach by a father whose kids spotted something unusual washed up on the shore. The creature that immediately caught their attention looked like nothing they'd ever seen before. Its entire body seemed to have a gel-like texture, with no visible face or eyes. Only a small front portion of the creature was moving, while the rest remained still. It was almost as if the creature was attempting to move. But with such limited movement, it seemed quite confusing. This bizarre creature resembles something out of a science fiction movie, perhaps a slug from another world. Despite its harmless appearance, it's essential to remember that looks can be deceiving. Creatures that appear harmless often pose the most significant threat. Therefore, it's wise to exercise caution and refrain from approaching such creatures without further research. This next video, uploaded on YouTube, claims to have captured the sighting of a sea monster, and let me tell you, it looks pretty darn convincing. Filmed by farmers, This footage shows a river with something bizarre swimming beneath its surface. In the video, we can see the river water being disturbed by a large unidentified object. The sizable ripples and waves indicate that something substantial is moving through the water. We can hear the farmers expressing their distress upon witnessing this creature in their river. As the creature swims across from one side to the other, it encounters some drift bushes in its path, causing a commotion as it passes through. The scene ends abruptly, leaving viewers on edge. Now, some skeptics might speculate that it's merely a blockage or driftwood, causing the disturbance. But here's the thing. This creature was swimming and making waves against the direction of the water flow. Whatever this mysterious creature may be, one thing's for sure. It's not something the farmers want to encounter again anytime soon. We've all marveled at the majestic dragons that grace our screens in movies and animations. But who would thought we'd come face to face with one in real life? Well, sort of. This strange footage originates from a Chinese video sharing platform, showcasing a discovery that's difficult to comprehend. In it, villagers are seen as they stumble upon what appears to be the skeletal remains of a creature resembling the mythical dragons of legend. The skeleton is striking, featuring a small head, elongated neck, sizable torso, and an impressive tail, reminiscent of the fantastical beasts we've seen depicted in stories. However, the astonishing condition of the bones that are dry and impeccably clean raises questions regarding their authenticity. Could this remarkable find be the result of recent demise and subsequent scavenging by local wildlife? Or is it a meticulously crafted replica, designed to deceive? Regardless of its origins, the sight of such a creature, real or not, evokes a sense of wonder and curiosity. This next clip serves as a stark reminder of why it's crucial to maintain a safe distance from wild animals during a forest safari. Here we have two separate incidents captured by tourists on a forest safari. The first clip features a massive anaconda crossing the safari trail. The tourist's car, from which they are recording the clip, encounters the anaconda, and their guide decides to get a closer look by driving alongside it. However, this decision quickly backfires as the anaconda becomes agitated and attempts to attack the car. The second clip shows another safari car getting too close to an alligator. As the car parks near the alligator, the reptile perceives it as a threat and launches a ferocious attack on the bumper. The force of the alligator's assault is evident as it completely obliterates the car's bumper. Both of these clips highlight the dangers of invading the personal space of these powerful creatures. While it may be tempting to get a closer look, it's crucial to remember to respect their territory and maintain a safe distance for both your safety and theirs. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. A homeowner in Los Angeles made a frantic 911 call, reporting two mysterious humanoid creatures lurking in his backyard. However, by the time the officers arrived, the creatures had vanished into thin air. But what the security camera captured paints a chilling picture.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a dope.
The footage obtained by the police reveals two towering figures, each standing at a staggering 9 feet tall. These creatures appear to be a bizarre mix of a monkey and a human, with hunched postures as they scour the backyard. The sight of them is enough to send shivers down your spine. Both creatures, captured on various security cameras around the property, share striking similarities. They possess elongated human-like bodies, With lengthy arms and faces reminiscent of apes, the homeowner is convinced they resemble the infamous Bigfoot. And honestly, it's hard to argue otherwise. The real bone-chilling question here is, what were these creatures up to in the backyard? And what could have unfolded if the homeowner had confronted them solo? It's a mystery that leaves us with more questions than answers. You might have witnessed some pretty odd behavior from drunk people after a night out, but have you ever seen a snake acting like it's had one too many? Well, if not, get ready for this next clip. Yep, this snake is definitely acting like it's had a few too many shots. This video, captured by a family on a road trip, shows a snake behaving oddly by the roadside. At first glance, the snake seems fairly normal, just wriggling its body around. But here's where it gets weird. Instead of slithering along, it stays in the same spot, just wriggling in place. Then, out of nowhere, the snake starts contorting its body in strange ways, almost like it's trying to tie itself in a knot. But then, the snake begins slamming its head against the road like it's in a hardcore mosh pit. It's quite a sight, let me tell you. After its little head banging session, the snake eventually calms down and lies still, almost as if it's passed out from all the action. Now, I did some digging and found something called mad snake disease, which can cause snakes to act strangely. But I couldn't find anything about them banging their heads on roads. This video captures a moment that could either be a product of computer-generated imagery wizardry or a rare sighting of a spirit. Have a look. Recorded by a house's security camera, the footage purportedly shows a dog spirit. In the scene, an old man rings the bell, awaiting someone to open the door. Suddenly, a light black smoke in the form of a dog emerges in the background and approaches the old man. Sensing something amiss, he glances behind him, but finds nothing as the dog spirit dissipates. It's an eerie and unsettling sight, suggesting that even dogs may have spirits capable of such appearances. Some viewers remain skeptical, suggesting the old man may have looked back for a different reason, not sensing the spirit. While this explanation is plausible, I find myself leaning toward the mysterious nature of the sighting. The mysteries of the ocean and its strange creatures never fail to both amaze and terrify us, and this video showcases one such enigma. Filmed at Green Harbor Beach, the footage reveals a bizarre creature washed up on the shore. At first glance, it resembles a flower or bird, but upon closer inspection, its true strangeness becomes apparent, with two wing-like appendages, tinted pink and a lengthy, girthy tail. This creature defies conventional classification. Its features are so alien that discerning its mouth or fins becomes a challenge. Even the onlookers at the beach were confused, wary of touching it lest it prove poisonous. Despite extensive research, the details of this creature remain elusive. If anyone has insights into its identity, please share them in the comments below. If you thought you'd seen it all, prepare to be amazed by this footage captured in Russia.
Как он моргает? Я не знаю, сколько он тут уже висит. Пока он, конечно,
Now, I know what you're thinking. This has gotta be some sci-fi movie scene, right? Nope, this footage is as real as it gets. What you're witnessing is a truly bizarre creature perched on a branch. It boasts a diminutive body, adorned with strange tentacles protruding from its back. But that's just the beginning of its oddities. Its face is a spectacle in itself, with large, jet-black eyes that seem to pop out and lips reminiscent of a frog's. And let's not forget about its substantial tail and elongated limbs, adding to its enigmatic appearance. As the footage unfolds, You'll notice the creature's remarkable agility and speed as it moves, seemingly in search of something. The sight is undeniably surreal and has left many viewers baffled. Some have even speculated that this peculiar encounter is karmic retribution following Russia's actions. This next clip from Muzaffarpur, India, captures a truly bizarre sight. A giant rat-like creature that has left netizens baffled. The footage you just witnessed was recorded in a glassworking shop in Bihar, India. In the video, we see a weird creature resembling a large rat skulking around the shop. This creature is both creepy and intriguing, with its hairless body and pitch-black eyes. It moves with agility, effortlessly climbing up shelves within the shop. Its long neck and elongated body add to its unusual appearance. Some liken it to a mutated version of the legendary chupacabras, while others draw comparisons to the Demogorgon from the Netflix series Stranger Things. However, the idea of it hailing from a parallel dimension seems far-fetched. Nonetheless, the mystery surrounding this creature continues to puzzle us. I know playing fetch with your dog could be relaxing and calming, but playing fetch with a beluga whale, well, that's a whole different experience. Yes, you saw that right. That man was indeed playing fetch with a beluga whale. In this incredible video, we witness a man leaning over the side of a boat as a giant whale emerges from the water, holding a ball in its mouth. The man takes the ball and throws it into the water, and much to our amazement, the whale eagerly swims after it, retrieving the ball and bringing it back to the boat. The whale seems genuinely delighted to participate in this game of fetch with the people on the boat. It's truly fascinating to see these majestic creatures enjoying such playful interactions. Beluga whales are known for their natural curiosity, sociability, and intelligence. They often approach boats and divers, demonstrating their friendly and inquisitive nature. Given their intelligence, it's possible that this beluga was trained by the people on the boat. However, it's also entirely plausible that it learned this behavior naturally, showcasing the remarkable capabilities of these amazing animals. When they say mothers are our first teachers, they aren't just talking about humans, but animals too. This heartwarming video from Florida captures a touching moment between a mother cat and her kitten. The scene unfolds with the kitten appearing stuck in a tree, while its mother stands below, offering guidance. With gentle encouragement from the mama cat, the kitten attempts to descend, but struggles with fear. Sensing her kitten's distress, the woman behind the camera urges the mama cat to intervene.
Get her. Get your baby.
Without hesitation, the mother cat climbs the tree to assist her little one. Despite initial hesitation, when the mama cat climbs down, the kitten also finds the courage to climb down on its own. It's a beautiful example of a mother's love and guidance, helping her young navigate new challenges. Truly heartwarming. Before watching this video, I always saw cats as those adorable creatures who simply laze around, eat, and cuddle. But after witnessing this, my perspective has totally shifted. In this captivating footage, captured by a cat owner, we witness an intense showdown between our beloved feline friend and the notorious fox. The scene unfolds around a tree, with the fox persistently attempting to attack the cat. However, the cat remains remarkably composed, effortlessly thwarting each of the fox's advances with swift paw movements. Despite the fox's repeated attempts to sneak up on the cat from different angles, the cat's quick reflexes enable it to fend off the fox every time. What's intriguing is how the cat seemingly unfazed, maintains its cool demeanor throughout the encounter. Meanwhile, the cat owner behind the camera appears surprisingly unperturbed, calmly observing the unfolding drama without a hint of worry. Truly a remarkable display of feline prowess and resilience. This next clip has been causing quite a stir on the internet, with many suggesting that it captures the sight of an aquatic Batman. What you just witnessed wasn't Batman soaring through the skies in a movie scene, but rather real footage captured underwater. In the video, we see a truly strange creature swimming in the water, resembling something out of a superhero comic. At first glance, it may appear to be a jellyfish, but its method of swimming is unlike anything a jellyfish would do. This creature boasts a dark coloration and what seems like a cape-like structure on its back, reminiscent of Batman's iconic wings. It utilizes these wing-like structures to gracefully disperse water as it moves through its aquatic environment. While this creature is undoubtedly strange, my guess is that it could be a lesser-known relative of the jellyfish family. After all, the ocean is full of surprises, and who's to say that one of its inhabitants couldn't resemble Batman? Ever wondered what happens when zoo management decides to mix otters with orangutans? Let's just say it's not your typical day at the zoo. This footage, captured by a tourist at a zoo, gives us a glimpse into an orangutan enclosure like no other. Instead of peacefully munching on some snacks or engaging with visitors, this orangutan finds itself locked in a battle of wits with a group of pesky otters. These furry troublemakers seem determined to get under the orangutan's skin, constantly emerging from the water and approaching it. Despite the orangutan's attempts to ward them off with a stick, the otters prove to be quite persistent, returning again and again like unwelcome house guests. While the scene may have provided some entertainment for the tourists, it's clear that the orangutan isn't exactly thrilled about the situation. Perhaps the zoo management overlooked the potential for annoyance when they decided to mix these two species. Lesson learned: sometimes it's best to keep certain animals separate. This next clip from India showcases a rather bizarre sight of a fire-resistant goat casually warming itself by the flames. Filmed at an Indian temple, this video captures a black goat confidently resting its face in the fire. What's truly remarkable is that despite the proximity to the flames, the goat doesn't seem bothered at all. Its horns and face are right in the midst of the fire, yet there's no sign of burns or distress. It's almost as if this goat has some sort of built-in fire resistance. But the strangeness doesn't end there. In another surprising moment, a lady appears in the frame and casually handles the fire with her bare hands. She effortlessly picks up the coal used to feed the flames and walks away as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Witnessing these events, one can't help but wonder if the people at this temple possess some extraordinary abilities, or if there's a rational explanation behind this baffling scene. Imagine you're doing a routine cleaning of your bathroom tiles, but then something bizarre like this starts happening.
Una explicación científica para esto.
In this intriguing video from Indonesia, we witness a rather strange phenomenon unfold as the cleaner solution meets the tiles. As the liquid hits a specific spot, an odd wave-like motion begins to ripple through the water, almost resembling something swimming beneath the surface. The wave meanders around for a bit before eventually dissipating into the solution. It's a strange occurrence, especially in such an ordinary setting like a bathroom. One possible explanation could be that there's a fan nearby generating air currents that cause these waves. However, If there were a hole in the tile, we'd expect to see bubbles forming in the water as well, which isn't the case here. This leaves us scratching our heads. If you have any insights or explanations, please share them with us in the comments below. Hunters were out on their usual hunting trip in the African forest when they stumbled upon a truly bizarre creature that defies description. This isn't a scene from a fantasy movie. It's real footage captured by our African hunters. The creature before us was found by the hunters, and it is utterly strange and unsettling. It got a human-like face atop the body of a small koala, covered in hair. It's a sight that just doesn't seem right. In the video, the hybrid creature appears to be resting, perhaps even lifeless at first glance. But upon closer inspection, you can see subtle movements suggesting it's just asleep. Personally, anything with even a hint of human features sends shivers down my spine. Attention all Bigfoot enthusiasts. Prepare to bolster your evidence and convince the skeptics that this legendary creature is indeed real. At first glance, it resembles a gorilla or an ape, but given that this was recorded in the Acadian forest of Canada, I'm sure that's not the case. This creature stands tall and possesses a humanoid posture, moving through the bushes in a distinctly human-like manner. The video was taken from a hidden spot, unbeknownst to the creature. However, a sudden noise from the hiker alerted the humanoid figure, causing it to become agitated. In a chilling display, the creature began growling in a deeply unsettling voice, prompting the hiker to flee in fear. This creature perfectly fits the description of what many refer to as Bigfoot, adding yet another intriguing piece to the puzzle of its existence. Do you think this video? Now, we've got a clip straight from a remote African village, and let me tell you, it's downright unsettling. What you just witnessed isn't some extraterrestrial being dropped off by an alien ship. It's a Percussion mutant. This mutated pig's appearance is quite eerie, with a dog-like lower body and a humanoid head. The mutation has twisted its facial features, giving it a human-like nose, tongue, and eyes. It's especially unnerving to see its mouth hanging open with the tongue sticking out. At first glance, we might have all mistaken it for an alien, but it's actually a baby pig, unfortunately born with disabilities and mutations. Creatures like this mutant often have short lives, as their abnormalities make it difficult for them to survive. Even though this creature seems straight out of a nightmare, I hope it found ease of life after this video was taken, and that local authorities provided the care it needed. This video serves as a reminder of why it's crucial to always close your car doors, especially when you live near wooded areas. An unexpected guest hopped inside the car of a man, and he was too afraid to go open it directly, so he came up with a plan to open the door with a string. The strategy proves successful. With the door swinging open, the frantic bear makes a swift escape back into the woods. While the homeowner's decision to release the animal appears noble, the aftermath isn't quite as rosy. Driven by panic and the instinct to search for food, the trapped bear wreaked havoc on the car interior. This close encounter serves as a stark reminder. Leaving your car unlocked in areas frequented by wildlife can have unexpected consequences. The homeowner will likely think twice about leaving their car unsecured in the future. Embark on a journey into the peculiar and the profound with this video, set in a location as mysterious as the event it captures, an underground cave. Here, something very strange catches our eye. a peculiar light shining on the ground. As the camera zooms in, the light reveals something unexpected. It looks like the image of a man is somehow being projected within this light. Around this unusual display, there are some people standing, and they seem to be focusing on the light very intently, almost as if they are worshipping it. It's a curious scene, making me wonder if we're witnessing something miraculous, or if there might be a simpler explanation, like a trick of light or an illusion. The video doesn't clarify whether this is a genuine mystery or something man-made, but I personally think that it is more likely that it is man-made. Imagine being high up in the sky, on a plane at night, and you catch a glimpse of something totally unexpected. That's exactly what this video brings to life. Filmed by a passenger on a night flight, the dark sky outside the plane becomes the backdrop for a mysterious sight. Amidst the blanket of night, a glowing yellow object appears, standing out with its unusual shape and luminous color. The object has the classic look of what many imagine an alien ship would resemble. Bright, distinct, and somewhat otherworldly. It's this glowing yellow form against the dark sky that stirs thoughts of an alien craft and other extraterrestrial possibilities. Many such sights have been seen in many other places, either at night or during the day, which gives credence to this video. There seems to be happening something all across the world. So this does raise questions. Are we being observed from above by something we don't fully understand? Imagine stumbling upon a scene that defies all expectations. A moment in nature that makes you do a double take. That's exactly what this video offers.
He's breathing now. He's breathing. Oh shit, I'm gonna scare him. Wait, he's having ears.
It's a frog, but there's something very odd about it. This isn't your everyday frog. It's quite big and has its tongue sticking out, which isn't too strange until you take a closer look. When we zoom in, we notice something truly peculiar about this frog's appearance. It seems like parts of its head, especially the front, are missing. What's left gives the impression that the frog has just a huge open mouth with no other facial features. This unusual sight is fascinating and a bit strange. The frog, despite its odd appearance, continues its life in the pond, unaffected by its unique condition. It's amazing how this frog adapted to live having only a small part of its head. Let us dive into a heart-pounding moment in the wild where man meets beast in an unexpected showdown. The man, perhaps emboldened by the situation or underestimating the danger, decides to interact with the wild animal. He throws a white shirt over the crocodile's head. Seizing what he thinks is an opportunity, the man then daringly jumps into the damp area where the crocodile is, attempting to touch or subdue the creature. This guy has guts, if nothing else. However, the situation quickly escalates. The crocodile, predictably agitated by the intrusion and the sudden loss of vision, reacts with instinctive aggression. It snaps at the man, who loses his balance and falls. In the ensuing chaos, the crocodile makes snapping attempts at the man's hand, and then his foot, each time narrowly missing. Fortunately, the crocodile eventually disengages, leaving the man unharmed but likely shaken. I think that this encounter taught that man a lesson. Some animals are considered dangerous for a good reason, and we shall not disturb them. Step into a rare glimpse of nature's unpredictability with this video, showcasing a phenomenon that's as fascinating as it is unusual. Upon a brief examination, the calf's head reveals an extraordinary configuration. It possesses 2 ears and 2 eyes, but these aren't positioned as one might expect. Instead of being set as a left and a right, the eyes appear to be duplicated versions of the same side, situated closely together near the center of the head. Intriguingly, the head then divides into 2 distinct muzzles, creating a visage that's as bewildering as it is remarkable. This calf is a living example of a rare and unusual natural anomaly, where the rest of its body appears completely normal, but its head presents a unique dual structure. This video shows us how diverse our plant is, and even when faced with such anomalies, our attitude should not be repulsive, but curious, and we should accept these creatures as if they are normal. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Imagine venturing into a serene forest, where a group of people are gathered by a river, and one of them is about to discover nature's unexpected surprises.
Ayúdele.
The video presents a man in the river who appears to have caught something substantial in his fishing net. Another individual from the group approaches to inspect the catch. As he reaches out and grabs what they think is a fish by its tail, the scene takes a sudden turn. The man instantly collapses into the water, appearing lifeless for a moment. The cause of this shocking incident? He unwittingly touched an eel, known for its electric shock capabilities. The jolt from the eel was strong enough to knock him off his feet and into the water. After a tense few seconds, the man thankfully resurfaces and recovers, seemingly unharmed, but undoubtedly shaken by the experience. If I were that man, I would have looked twice before touching that fish. Maybe this experience gave him a lesson. Dive into a scene that's as fascinating as it is unsettling. This video captures a rather disturbing natural phenomenon. A cricket on the ground, undergoing something quite extraordinary and gross. From its body, multiple slender worms are emerging, indicating a severe infestation. These aren't just any worms. They're horsehair worms, known for their peculiar life cycle that involves living inside the bodies of crickets, grasshoppers, cockroaches, and beetles as internal parasites. The sight of these worms wriggling out from the host cricket is startling and may be quite shocking to witness for those unfamiliar with such natural occurrences. Personally, I have never seen an infested insect before, and for me, this is quite a shocking image. Step into a world of the unusual and the unknown with this video, where we're taken to a beach scene that feels like a peek into another realm. Here, nestled in a tide pool, we find an array of peculiar creatures that defy our usual expectations of marine life. These beings are oval-shaped and exhibit an intriguing flatness, a stark contrast to the usual fauna we might expect to find in such an environment. What's particularly mesmerizing about these creatures is their unique patterned backs. But don't pull out your cryptid book, these are actually known creatures. These are called chitons, a type of marine mollusk. Chitons are known for their distinctive oval-shaped bodies that are protected by 8 overlapping plates. They are often found in tidal pools and rocky shores, where they cling tightly to the surface and graze on algae. The various colors on their plates sometimes help them blend in with their surroundings. I have never seen these creatures in real life, but this is the beauty of these videos. They provide images of creatures we have never seen. Imagine a peaceful scene on the side of a road next to a forest, where a seemingly ordinary moment is about to take an unexpected turn. The sudden appearance of the bear from such an unexpected place catches everyone by surprise, especially the dog. Reacting instinctively, the dog springs into action, barking loudly and chasing the bear. This sudden pursuit adds to the bear's panic, causing it to sprint at full speed toward the safety of the nearby forest. The bear racing so fast from the trash took me by surprise. I don't know how I would have reacted if I were one of the men present in that situation. Dive into a fascinating encounter captured in this video, where we witness a rare and unusual creature, the likes of which are seldom seen. A man presents a scene straight out of nature's hidden playbook. He's holding a fish bait, and clinging to it is a creature so unique it piques immediate curiosity. This creature is an enigma, showcasing a blend of features that seem to borrow from various animals, yet form something entirely distinct. The back part of the creature is intriguingly shaped like a triangle, flaunting a gray color, and possesses a tail, all contributing to its flat stingray-like appearance. Such an unusual sighting stirs the imagination and wonder, challenging our understanding of the diverse forms of life that exist, some of which remain obscure to our everyday experiences. I've never seen such an animal, and I have no clue what this could be. If you know, let me know in the comments. Picture a serene riverside scene captured in this video, where a raccoon is leisurely lounging on the grass, seemingly at peace in its natural habitat, until the calm turned to chaos in just a few seconds. The scene quickly shifts from calm to a rush of adrenaline as the raccoon's survival instincts kick in, and it dashes away just in time, narrowly escaping the crocodile's grasp. The crocodile, perhaps not as motivated to pursue its meal on land, halts its chase, allowing the raccoon a lucky escape. Not being used to see crocodiles in the everyday life, I find it terrifying how they emerge from everywhere. Step into a spine-chilling scenario captured right inside a home, where the ordinary setting of a hallway becomes the stage for an eerie phenomenon. In the video, we see a clear hallway, and then something strange happens. A see-through, humanoid ghostly figure appears and walks into a room. Right after that, there are knocking sounds, but there's no one else supposed to be in the house.
And then the knocking happened. The knocking. There it is. And it just goes and goes.
It's hard to tell if we're looking at a real ghost or if the video has been edited to make it look that way. This guy has captured multiple videos of such encounters, so I can't say if he is a dedicated prankster or if there is indeed something bizarre happening in that house. The video left me wondering what's really going on, with the mysterious figure and the unexplained knocking adding to the mystery. Whether it's true or just a trick, it's definitely a scary moment caught on camera.
Can you stop, please? I mean, it's just right there.
Picture a scene straight from the wild, captured in the middle of a road, where two formidable reptiles face off in a tense standoff. Each animal is in an attack position, creating a palpable tension that suggests a fierce battle might be imminent. The monitor lizard, with its long body and powerful limbs, is locked in a standoff with the viper, known for its venomous bite and swift striking ability. However, the situation takes an unexpected turn. The monitor lizard, perhaps assessing that the confrontation isn't worth the risk, or maybe just losing interest, suddenly decides to disengage. It turns around, nonchalantly walks away from the viper, effectively diffusing the tension. The viper, now unthreatened, also relaxes, and the potential conflict is averted. I find it interesting to see how these unusual animals react when put face to face. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. Venture into the shadowy realm of a forest on a winter night, illuminated only by the beam of a flashlight, through this chilling video. The scene is set deep within the trees, where the silence of the snowy landscape is pierced by the unexpected sight of glowing yellow eyes peeking from behind the forest's darkened veil. The intensity of the eyes, shining with an eerie luminescence, captures our full attention. Their mysterious glow raises a haunting question. What creature or entity do they belong to? The possibilities send our imagination into overdrive. Are these the eyes of a hidden animal, perhaps a nocturnal predator with reflective eyes caught in the flashlight's glare? Or is there a more mysterious, unexplainable presence lurking in the forest? If I were that man, I would have ran away as quick as possible. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. Dive into a captivating scene unfolding in this video, where the timeless tale of a bear's quest for honey comes to life. Despite its size, the bear's determination is immense. It's fixated on the sweet prize hidden inside the tree, undeterred by the formidable defense mechanism it encounters. The air around the bear buzzes with activity as bees swarm, fiercely trying to fend off the intruder. The bear's thick fur offers some protection, but its persistence highlights the powerful drive of its natural instincts. Sometimes you gotta get stung if you want to get the big prize, I guess. Step into the mysterious ambience of this video, where a seemingly peaceful forest scene takes a sudden and bewildering turn. Initially, everything appears serene and typical of a forest landscape, with trees standing tall and the sounds of nature possibly filling the air. However, the tranquility is abruptly interrupted as, one by one, the trees begin to topple. The sight is startling. Normally, one might quickly assume the work of a deforestation crew, perhaps a chainsaw or a feller buncher at play behind the scenes. Yet, the perplexing aspect of this video is the absence of any such machinery or apparent human intervention. The trees continue to fall, seemingly sliced at their base, fueling a sense of bewilderment and intrigue. This unexplained phenomenon makes me wonder, is there an invisible force at work, or is there a natural explanation, such as a disease weakening the trees, making them succumb to gravity? In this video, we're introduced to a serene and seemingly gentle interaction that quickly becomes a startling encounter. This unexpected action catches everyone off guard. Nurse sharks, typically sluggish and unaggressive, are not known for such behaviors. They are usually bottom dwellers, peaceful to divers and swimmers, which adds to the surprise of this rare incident. Although the shark didn't attack and there was no aggression involved, the incident should be a lesson that we should leave the animals alone in their environments. I can't state enough how irresponsible I find that mother to be. In this intriguing video, we're transported to a cold, icy environment where the waters are dotted with floating ice. Camera captures a remarkable and unusual sight. A group of orcas, also known as killer whales, congregated in what appears to be a tight circular formation on the water's surface. The scene is set amidst the chilly expanse of ice, bobbing above the water while the rest of their bodies remain submerged. The way these majestic creatures are huddled so closely together, forming a circle, is not a common sight and sparks curiosity about their behavior. Orcas are known for their high intelligence and complex social structures, which could suggest that this gathering has a purpose or meaning, although it's not immediately clear from the video what that might be. They aren't showing signs of distress or engaging in an apparent hunting strategy. Instead, they seem to be participating in a quiet, perhaps social or protective, activity that is not often witnessed by humans. I find these creatures fascinating. Yes, they are extremely dangerous, but also very smart given their ability to make strategies. Imagine watching footage from a surveillance camera, capturing the quiet of the night at a children's playground. The focus is on a swing, which at first glance appears to be in use. However, there's no one around, and as you pay closer attention, the scene takes on an eerie atmosphere. The swing is moving back and forth with such intensity that it seems as if an invisible force or presence is propelling it. The more you observe, the more the situation feels supernatural, especially when you notice the vague, shadowy outline that seems to occupy the swing. This shadow doesn't have a clear, defined shape like a person. Instead, it's amorphous, almost like mist, enhancing the ghostly vibe of the footage. This video gave me the chills and left me wondering, what was that thing? I inclined to think of something supernatural, because I doubt that kids would be using a swing during the night. There is something about this scene making me curious. Imagine you're watching a video filmed by a driver at night. The scene illuminated only by the vehicle's headlights, but then something unexpected appears, briefly captured on the phone camera as the car speeds by.
C'est quoi ça? C'est quoi? Oh putain!
To the left of the car, visible through the window, there's an odd, unsettling presence. It's a figure that resembles a lady, clad in a long, elegant gown reminiscent of styles worn 60 years ago, grand and out of place on a deserted road at night. The dress flows gracefully, suggesting a bygone era of sophistication and formality. However, there's an eerie quality to this figure. Although her face isn't visible, there's something about her posture, the way she's standing, that stirs a deep sense of unease, hinting that she might not be of this world. The fleeting glimpse raises more questions than it answers, leaving the viewer. Imagine you're cruising down the road, heading home after a demanding day at the office, when suddenly you witness this coming down from the sky. This video, originating from Russia, captures the breathtaking descent of what appears to be debris from a meteor. The sizable meteor fragments are hurtling down from the sky at an impressive speed, casting a radiant light that illuminates the entire city. The spectacle reaches its zenith as the meteor debris crashes into Russia's Ural Mountains, unleashing a powerful shockwave that shatters windows and rattles buildings. Notably, this incident was unintentionally well documented, thanks to the widespread use of dash cameras in Russia at the time. Numerous dash comms recorded the meteor streaking across the sky, followed by the dazzling flash accompanying its explosion. Elizabeth Pearson, an astronomer from Cardiff University, points out that the shedding of debris from a substantial asteroid is not an uncommon occurrence, It happens more frequently than one might think. While the event took everyone by surprise, it left an enduring impression on those fortunate enough to witness this cosmic display. This video might just make you rethink that leisurely stroll through the woods. As this couple is just walking in the forest, they spot something big and dark, moving among the trees. At first, they think it's a bear, which by itself would be enough to worry about, right? Personally, I would certainly not stick around to make this recording. But what is even more scary is that after a few moments, this bear does something bears don't usually do. It stands up on two legs, just like a person. That's when the couple knows it's time to get out of there, fast. The camera's all shaky as they run, trying not to trip over anything, and you can't see any much more after that. So, what was that thing? Some say it might be Bigfoot. Considering how it stood up on its two legs, the dark hair covering its entire body, and the overall massive size, could it be true? While some may doubt the existence of ghosts, this video could sway even skeptics. A man at home witnessed a spooky event, a chair swaying on its own. Perplexed by the sight, he grabbed his phone and started recording. Intrigued and somewhat spooked, he called his wife to witness the unusual spectacle.
Hey, hon, come here.
However, the wife, overwhelmed by fear, hesitated to approach the mysteriously moving chair. There is also something this guy said that made me think. He said that this is the most active he's seen it during the day, which makes us realize that this is not the first strange sight this family has had. But the recording took a chilling turn once he got closer to the chair and looked at the reflection. We can clearly see someone standing in the chair, and even more bizarre, we can then see the ghostly entity stand up from the chair, and it lunges at him.
I'm not liking this. Hon, let's go to dinner.
The man was visibly shaken and started calling for his wife to get out of the house for a while. The lingering question remains: what was the ghost's motive behind this unsettling manifestation? Numerous Bigfoot sightings circulate on the internet, with some debunked but a few remain a mystery. This particular sighting, though less known, is quite compelling. The creature captured in the footage closely matches the traditional descriptions of Bigfoot. A man noticed this creature lurking behind the trees. He anticipated its return and decided to document the encounter. After a short wait, the creature emerged among the trees and gradually moved away. Its massive black hair and bipedal form challenges any simple explanation as a mere bear or person. I personally believe that it is something distinct and notably too enormous for it to be just a man in a costume. The man's recording provides undeniable evidence of an encounter with a large, unidentified creature. Forests are mysterious places and they harbor countless secrets, especially when veiled in darkness during the night. To uncover the mysteries and observe animal behavior, people often deploy trail cameras in the forest. However, these cameras sometimes capture inexplicable phenomena. In one such footage, humanoid figures were caught on a trail camera. Initially, the camera recorded a creature with human-like features, moving on both hands and feet, creating an unsettling and eerie scene. Later, more eerie individuals emerged before the camera. What's unsettling is that they were unclothed and had eerie, slender bodies. Who were these individuals? What were they doing in the forest at night? I have no explanation for this video, so please feel free to comment. You may have encountered unimaginable and mysterious creatures in your life. It is believed that the ocean is home to thousands of creatures, some of which remain unknown to scientists. Could it be possible that some of these unidentified creatures find their way into ponds and lakes? Incidents have been reported worldwide where eerie and unknown creatures have been observed in such bodies of water. In this footage, a family passing by a pond near the road noticed a large number of worm-like creatures in the water. These creatures resemble worms, but differ in structure and form from typical worms or eels. The entire pond was dominated by the population of these unknown creatures. Intrigued, the family decided to stop their car and started recording the scene. They even captured one of these creatures and placed it in a bucket they had with them. It looks a bit like a centipede with all those little arm-like things around it. But as far as I know, they aren't the swimming type. Does anyone have a clue what they might be? I looked a bit online, but I could not find this species. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Stray dogs often chase people on the road, especially when people are cycling near them. In some instances, bears or other animals may exhibit similar behavior. However, have you ever witnessed a cow chasing a cyclist on the road? In this video, two friends were cycling on an unpaved road surrounded by woods when suddenly, out of nowhere, a white cow emerged and started chasing them. The cyclist in the rear, equipped with a head-mounted camera, captured the entire encounter. I don't know about you, but I do find it a bit funny of how it ended. I do hope, however, that the cow was okay from that jump. Bears are deemed dangerous due to their tendency to attack humans, but what makes them even more dangerous is their complete unpredictability. They can engage in unexpected behaviors, causing chaos and destruction. In this video, 3 friends chose to stay at a rest house surrounded by woods inhabited by bears. As they parked their car the night before, a visitor somehow managed to get inside their car. A young bear decided that the car was the best place to take a nap. It became a significant problem for them to get the bear out of the car. One friend approached the car and opened the door, hoping the bear would exit. But it remained inside. He opened the door again and quickly retreated to avoid a potential bear attack upon exit. However, the bear stayed inside the car and, unexpectedly, broke the door mirror to escape. I have seen many videos of people trying to break car windows with no success, but this bear just did it without much trying. Just imagine how powerful these creatures are. This incident highlights how animals can cause more destruction and behave unpredictably when they feel endangered. Ever felt like someone's watching you while walking alone? Well, this hiker experienced just that and decided to record what he sensed. In a forest, he felt eyes fixated on him, prompting him to open his camera. What he captured was a black figure peering directly at him from behind a tree. This mysterious being was stalking the hiker, completely unaware of being spotted. The creature, like others we have seen in previous clips, appeared quite humanoid and was covered in thick black fur. To me, it resembled a Bigfoot, but it's hard to say for sure since the video was recorded from a distance, making the facial features less visible. What are your thoughts on this stalking creature? Could it be a Bigfoot? Or might it be something even more terrifying? The video leaves us with a sense of mystery and intrigue about what lurks in the depths of the forest. This clip isn't from some Hollywood zombie movie. It's real footage captured by a fisherman in October on the Stillaguamish River. In the video, we're faced with a truly eerie sight. A creepy fish, possibly a salmon, washed up on the shore. Yep, you saw it. This fish has no eyeballs, just empty sockets, and it's covered in scars all over its body. But here's where it gets really freaky. Despite all odds, this critter is still twitching and wriggling, like it's alive. The way its mouth moves, the way it's still showing signs of life. It's like something straight out of a horror flick. I mean, come on, just look at it. It's like nature's version of a zombie. So, my advice to the person who found it: maybe it's time to break out the matches and give this thing a proper send-off. After all, who wants to risk a real-life zombie apocalypse, right? This next clip is straight from a forest trail camera, originally set up to track deer populations. But it caught something pretty fascinating. In this footage from 2016, we're treated to the sight of a deer moseying around, nibbling on some forest greens. Now here's the twist. This deer's only got 3 legs. It's missing one, and yet it's doing just fine. What's really remarkable is how well this deer manages to keep its balance with just 3 legs. It's like watching a tightrope walker, but with fur and antlers. And it's not just hobbling along. It's strolling around like it's got not a care in the world. You've got to hand it to Mother Nature. She's full of surprises. But let's not forget the potential challenges this deer might face, especially if it runs into a predator. Sprinting on 3 legs? Now, that's a whole other ballgame. But for now, let's just marvel at the resilience of our furry friends. When I first laid eyes on this clip, I could have sworn it was a teaser for some mind-bending movie. But let me tell you, the reality is far more shocking. Take a look at this town. It's like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? The entire place is blanketed in a thick layer of frozen snow, giving off an otherworldly vibe that's hard to shake. But this footage was captured in 2024 in a northern hilly town in China. And it's as frozen and eerie as it gets. Everywhere you look, there are frozen cars scattered about, some even upside down, likely abandoned after accident. The temperature seems so bone-chilling that even the wind appears frozen in place. Stalls, boards, buildings, nothing escapes the icy grasp of this town. And those cars parked on the road, completely encased in a thick layer of ice. It's a scene straight out of a nightmare, especially with that haunting fog lurking in the background. However, despite the terror it evokes, there's a part of me that's inexplicably drawn to visit this place and witness its frozen wonders firsthand. Imagine yourself skydiving, feeling the rush of adrenaline, when suddenly your parachute bag slips away. That's the similar level nightmare scenario this poor fellow found himself in. In this video from Africa, we witness a honey harvester scaling a tree for another honey run. Armed with leaf baskets to create smoke and fend off bees from the hive, he ascends toward the hive. However, just as he nears the hive, disaster strikes. His smoke falls, disturbing the bees and triggering a furious attack on the defenseless harvester. Swarming bees assault the harvester, leaving him with nowhere to escape but down the tree, enduring countless stings along the way. It's hard to imagine the pain he endured with thousands of bees on the attack. This unfortunate incident could have been prevented with a simple strap securing the harvester's tools. Nevertheless, I doubt this harvester will be eager to pursue honey anytime soon after this ordeal. I don't get what's with some adrenaline junkie hikers who just love to trek through forests in the dead of night. Take this video, for example. It's recorded by a hiker out exploring a Canadian forest, and it's a real heart-stopper. As the hiker makes his way through the woods, he starts hearing these spine-chilling screams echoing in the distance. They're unlike anything he's ever heard, the kind of screams that make your hair stand on end and send shivers down your spine. But does he turn back? No, he keeps on walking towards the source of the noise, which turns out to be a big mistake. Suddenly, he comes face to face with this terrifying creature peeking out from behind a tree. It's enough to make anyone break into a run for their life. And that's exactly what the hiker does. The video cuts off there, leaving us all on the edge of our seats. Now, as for what that creature actually is, well, your guess is as good as mine. Some say it looks like a bat-human hybrid, but who knows for sure? All I know is I'll be sticking to daytime hikes from now on. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. If you're not a fan of bugs, you might want to skip this next video. And if you're brave enough to watch, well, consider yourself warned. Yep, what you just witnessed isn't some dusty gust of wind. It's actually a terrifying swarm of locusts terrorizing the Russian countryside. In this clip, the sky is darkened by a massive swarm stretching over 70,000 hectares across farmland in southern Russia. It's pretty terrifying to witness. Local authorities were left scrambling, deploying vehicles and aircraft in a frantic attempt to combat this major infestation. But try as they might, capturing these bugs proved to be no easy feat. And for drivers on the roads, it's chaos as they swerve to avoid the colossal collection of bugs. Now, these locust plagues are a worldwide disaster with a history as long as time itself. And what's truly bone-chilling is how they ravage crops, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. Imagine, in just a matter of minutes, they wipe out your entire field of crops, leaving you with nothing. This video hails from Bangladesh and was captured by a local villager out for a stroll. Hearing something rustling in the bushes, he whipped out his camera, expecting to catch sight of some animal, but what he found was far from ordinary. In the footage, we see the villager cautiously approaching a bush, and as he pans the camera, we're met with a spine-chilling sight. A pitch-black, humanoid-looking creature nestled within. The creature's eerie appearance sends shivers down your spine, especially as it locks eyes with the camera lens, seemingly unfazed by the flashlight. Despite the brightness of the flashlight, the creature remains shrouded in darkness, adding to the overall sense of dread. The villagers are left bewildered, unsure of what they're witnessing. Could there be something more sinister at play? This unsettling encounter leaves us questioning the unknown and the potential motives of this mysterious creature. Get ready to have your alien belief shaken if you're a skeptic, or reinforced if you're a believer like me, because this next clip is something else. So, this clip is making rounds on Reddit, claiming to be from the Dulce, New Mexico base, and it supposedly shows an alien-looking baby. And let me tell you, from the moment you lay eyes on this little creature, it's hard to deny its resemblance to what we imagine aliens to look like. The eyes, the head shape, the texture of its body, it all screams alien. But its lower body appears human-like. Now, some folks who've seen this video speculate that this tiny being is actually a human-alien hybrid created through genetic experimentation at the Dulce, New Mexico base. And given the times we live in, where genetic experiments aren't exactly unheard of, it's not entirely far-fetched. But even if it is some kind of experiment gone awry, it's safe to say they might have missed the mark on this one big time. While delving into research for an alien-themed video, I stumbled upon a chilling discovery from Russia dating back to 1996, and let me tell you, it's quite unsettling. In this vintage footage, an antiquarian proudly displays a mysterious find unearthed during his search for antiques. What he reveals is truly out of this world, a small, skeletal creature resembling something straight out of a sci-fi movie. From its elongated, oddly patterned head to its alien-like eyes, every aspect of this creature screams extraterrestrial. Its slender limbs only add to the otherworldly appearance, leaving us to wonder if it could indeed be a visitor from beyond our planet. This fascinating discovery raises the possibility that aliens may have visited Earth millions of years ago. However, skepticism remains, as it's equally plausible that this could be a clever hoax or a fabricated object. Regardless, the mere thought of such a find is enough to make one's imagination run wild. Sure, we've all seen rain, but have you ever heard of raining cows? This unbelievable video was captured at a cattle farm in Canada, and let me tell you, it's as bizarre as it gets. In it, there are a couple of cows munching away on their meal peacefully, when suddenly, out of nowhere, one of them comes crashing through the roof with a deafening bang. The roof is obliterated, and the poor cow finds itself stuck on the fence. After a bit of struggle, it manages to wriggle free and make a daring escape. Now, seeing a massive creature like a cow plummeting from the sky is definitely a strange sight to behold. My guess is maybe there was an upper floor to the farm, and the cow somehow tumbled off from there. But let's not forget, as weird as it is, it could have been pretty dangerous if a person had been in the cow's path when it crashed. I never thought I'd have to worry about raining cows, but here we are. This next clip, caught by a neighbor, captures a surprising sight of a bobcat casually strolling along the roof of a nearby house.
Oh my God.
In this video, from a California homeowner, we witness the hair-raising moment when a bobcat confidently wanders across their neighbor's roof. While it may seem harmless at first glance, it's important to remember that bobcats are known for their aggression and ferocity. The way this bobcat is pacing suggests it might be feeling agitated or annoyed, which could potentially lead to an attack. There have been numerous reported incidents of bobcat attacks, so the presence of one in a residential area is certainly cause for concern. It's fortunate that no one happened to be outside at the time, as encountering a bobcat in such a state could have been dangerous. Still, the question remains: what on earth is a bobcat doing prowling around on someone's roof? If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. As kids, we were all enchanted by fairy tales, but as adults, we tend to brush them off as mere fantasy. However, this video might make you reconsider. This video, caught by a home security camera in a house driveway, captured something truly strange. In the footage, we see two cars parked at night, when suddenly, a bug flits across the screen. The bug then returns, hovering for a moment before disappearing from view, ending the clip. Sounds pretty ordinary, right? Well, not quite. Upon closer inspection, slowing down the video reveals that this bug isn't your typical insect. It appears to have a humanoid shape with legs, arms, and wings resembling a miniature creature, straight out of a fairy tale. Some viewers have even gone so far as to suggest it looks like a fairy. Now, I'm inclined to think it's just a moth with an oddly shaped lower body that creates the illusion of legs. But in the right light, I have to admit it does have an otherworldly charm that's reminiscent of fairy tales. Our world never fails to surprise us, and the encounter captured in this video is a perfect example.
So it actually stung the tarantula. It is alive but paralyzed. The tarantula hawk is going to lay an egg on it.
This rare footage was taken by a hiker on a Canadian trail and showcases a fascinating interaction between a tarantula and a fly-like insect. In the video, we witness the insect dragging the tarantula across the trail. It's quite a sight to behold, especially considering the size of the insect compared to the tarantula, which appears lifeless as it's being pulled along. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. The hiker explains that the large insect dragging the tarantula is actually a species known as a tarantula hawk. These creatures have the ability to paralyze their prey and then transport them to their nests to lay eggs in their bodies. It's a bit unsettling to think about, but that's nature for you. While it's undeniably fascinating, I have to admit the thought of these tarantula hawks out there gives me the shivers. We all understand the basic principles of gravity, but this clip takes Newton's law and turns it on its head. In this viral video, we're treated to the incredible sight of mountain goats effortlessly scaling the sheer wall of a dam. These alpine ibex, a type of wild goat, showcase their remarkable climbing skills as they tackle the nearly vertical surface of the dam. It's a sight to behold, as these goats boldly attempt to ascend a wall that's over 100 feet high. At first glance, it seems as though they're defying gravity, standing on what appears to be an impossibly steep incline. But when the camera pulls back to reveal the full aerial view of the dam, the true danger of their precarious position becomes clear. Watching these goats navigate the dam with such ease is sure to ignite the adventurous spirit in anyone. While us humans would need specialized equipment to tackle such daunting heights, it's truly astonishing to witness these goats accomplishing it effortlessly. Social media has truly become a global hub for all sorts of content, and wildlife videos are among the most popular genres. Recently, a video featuring a rare opossum found in Arkansas has caught the attention of netizens everywhere. In this footage, captured by a trail camera in 2023, we're treated to a nighttime view of the woods. Among the trees wanders an opossum, doing what opossums do best, sniffing around for prey and exploring their surroundings under the cover of darkness. But this isn't your typical opossum. The real surprise comes when another camera captures the same creature in the morning light. This opossum is unlike any other. It's completely white, covered head to toe in snowy fur. This unique appearance is due to a rare genetic mutation called albinism, which results in a lack of pigmentation. While this albino opossum may look adorable and intriguing, life isn't easy for them. Their white coat makes them stand out in the wild, making them an easy target for predators. Despite these challenges, the sight of this one-in-a-million creature is nothing short of amazing and offers a refreshing sight for nature lovers everywhere. This next clip from Florida gives us a clear reminder of why it's best not to mess with the wild. In this video captured by fishermen, the atmosphere is tense as they find themselves facing an unexpected visitor. As they fish minding their own business, when suddenly there's something approaching from the water in the background. As it gets closer, they realize it's an alligator. But instead of hightailing it out of there, they decide to joke around and keep recording. As the alligator gets nearer, it starts going after their fishing rope. At first, the fishermen find it kind of fascinating, but then, to their surprise and horror, the alligator turns its attention toward them and makes a quick leap onto their boat. Naturally, they panic and jump off the boat, realizing just how close they came to a potentially dangerous situation. After all, these predators are no joke. One bite, and they could drag you right into the water. I bet those guys won't be fishing for a while after that adrenaline-packed encounter. We've all seen fishing mishaps, but this video takes it to a whole new level with a modern twist that's never been seen before.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Oh,
Yep, you saw that right, fishing with drones. Sounds pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? Well, this footage was captured by a duo of friends, one of whom was determined to prove a point by catching fish using his drone. So, he rigs up a fishing line and hook below the drone and sets off flying it over a serene lake. As luck would have it, a fish takes the bait, and the friends erupt in laughter and celebration, thinking they've won the bet. But then, disaster strikes. The fish starts thrashing around, causing the drone to lose its balance and take a dive into the water, ending the video right there. It was quite the ambitious attempt, but as they say, it turned out to be an expensive fail. Who knows, maybe in the future, there will be drones that can fish for us without taking an unexpected dip. Ever wonder how crocodiles spend their days? Well, get ready for a laugh, because this video gives you a peek into the wild side. In this footage, we witness a rather amusing and intriguing sight. A crocodile leisurely sliding down a slippery slope into the water below. What's really amusing is how this crocodile makes it look so effortless, like it's done this 100 times before. You can almost imagine it thinking, yep, just another day at the office, as it glides down with ease. And hey, who can blame it? When you look around, it's clear this was the easiest route down to the water below. This clip just goes to show that even creatures like crocodiles have some smarts up their scales. They've got their own ways of making daily life a little more fun and convenient. After watching this, I can't help but wish I was that crocodile, sliding into the day with nothing but good vibes. This next clip is one of those that really gets under your skin. I mean, seriously, if this isn't some kind of trickery, I might be sleeping with the lights on tonight. Uploaded on Instagram with a chilling caption claiming it to be a ghost. This video presents a scene straight out of a horror movie. In the video, there's this eerie humanoid figure screaming and levitating like something out of a nightmare. It's got long, tangled hair, and its face looks like it's been through the ringer, all dried up and ghostly. After the scream fest, it just vanishes behind a pillar, leaving you wondering what the heck you just witnessed. People have been buzzing about this clip, throwing out theories left and right. Some think it's CG from a movie promo. Others reckon it's just someone in a freaky costume. But let me tell you, the way that thing moves and blends into the background, it's hard not to wonder if it's the real deal. Honestly, if this is just some clever editing, hats off to whoever pulled it off. In November, a bizarre and eerie video surfaced on a YouTube channel called Shimmy Jim Hog. According to the video captions, a homeowner captured this footage around 1:30 in the morning when he started hearing strange noises on his roof, similar to what he had heard the previous night. Armed with his camera, he ventured outside to investigate. As the homeowner stepped outside, he shared with the camera his curiosity about the mysterious sounds. However, to his horror, when he pointed the camera towards the roof, he discovered a truly creepy humanoid figure staring down at him. The man, understandably startled, stumbled backward and rushed inside to grab his firearm. Upon returning, the mysterious creature had vanished into the night. The creature appeared bald with a large, round head, but due to the low light, its facial features remained obscured. To me, this creature resembles what is often referred to as the Rake. Regardless of its identity, the eerie encounter left an impression of something with potentially malevolent intentions. This video unfolds in the Himalayas, capturing footage that left viewers in a state of fear and confusion. Two hikers recorded this scene as they explored the Himalayan range, spotting a large dark creature in the distance leisurely strolling around. This creature, entirely black and seemingly covered in a thick coat of fur, initially gave off the impression of a bear. However, as it came into clearer view, it became evident that it wasn't a bear due to its humanoid posture. Some viewers who have seen the video are skeptical, suggesting it may be the elusive Yeti. The Yeti, often described as an ape-like creature, has been a subject of folklore in the region. So, the question remains, what do you think this creature is? A Yeti, or perhaps something even more strange and unsettling than our familiar classifications? This video serves as a clear reminder of why it's crucial to keep a close eye on toddlers, even if it's just a few seconds. Hailing from Seattle, the footage captured by a home security camera unfolds in the backyard of a house. The camera captures a curious toddler taking tentative steps towards something in the distance, piquing their interest. However, the unsettling part is that what caught the toddler's attention wasn't the usual suspects like a cat, dog, or squirrel. It was a massive black bear. The toddler heads directly toward the imposing bear. Fortunately, just in the nick of time, the toddler's mother rushes out to retrieve them. Yet, as she gets closer, she realizes that her little one is running straight towards the bear. Acting swiftly, the mother catches her toddler and brings them safely inside. It's undeniably a close call, and we're grateful that the mother's quick actions averted a potentially dangerous situation. Thank goodness for the vigilant mom. A video was uploaded on Reddit by a user claiming to have a clip of a mountain beast captured on a bridge. In the video, you can see the edge of a forest and the shadow of what seems to be a bridge road. After a few seconds, a large shadow appears, walking on the bridge. The shadow is quite big compared to the bridge and moves around casually. Its outline resembles a humanoid, making it look like a Sasquatch. However, I'm still not completely convinced by the video. It's just a shadow, and we don't have any other evidence that this is some kind of Sasquatch. It's possible that it's just a person walking close to the light source, creating the illusion of a monstrous shadow. However, even if it was a human, I can imagine being really scared if I were there and saw that. Even if you believe you've witnessed all the wonders of nature, the animal kingdom always has surprises in store, especially in the depths of our oceans. A recent internet sensation featured a particularly strange marine worm caught by a fisherman, showcasing the bizarre and unfamiliar side of ocean life. The video begins with the cameraman's hand displaying the worm he just reeled in. At first glance, the worm appears to be a typical ribbon worm, but it takes a sudden twist when it exposes its insides from its front end. The remarkable part is what emerges. It seems to be a mouth of its own. While it might give off an alien-like vibe, it's actually a worm employing a unique feeding mechanism. This weird process involves the worm extending a part called a proboscis, essentially an appendage it uses for feeding. The protruding mouth-like structure serves the purpose of pulling in food. Though it's a natural behavior for the worm, it undeniably presents a crazy and weird way of eating that manages to both intrigue and gross out viewers simultaneously. Nature's surprises truly never cease to amaze. A video surfaced on a Chinese content uploading platform, offering a glimpse of the eerie atmosphere on the roads at 1 in the morning. The footage combines views from 2 different traffic cameras situated across the city. Both cameras captured a mysterious, dark figure casually strolling along the road. This enigmatic entity appeared dark and transparent, with a distinctly humanoid outline. It moved in a manner reminiscent of a person, stepping in a humanoid posture and wandering aimlessly across the street. What makes this encounter more intriguing is that the same figure was recorded by another camera, displaying a similar outline and walking pattern. To me, this apparition resembled a wandering ghost or spirit. Given that it was spotted on 2 separate cameras, there's a possibility that this could be an authentic sighting of a ghost. However, it's essential to consider alternative explanations, such as potential camera malfunctions, or the chance that someone edited and added a computer-generated ghost in both frames. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Imagine yourself out fishing on a wonderfully serene day with clear skies and picturesque clouds. As you take in the beauty of the scene, you see this in the sky. Some fishermen off Key West have stumbled upon rare punch-hole clouds, creating an appearance that could easily be mistaken for some alien activity in the area. These punch holes present a captivating yet slightly eerie spectacle. Multiple formations of these clouds adorn the sky, leaving the recording fishermen understandably confused. The scene resembles something out of a doomsday apocalyptic event, adding an extra layer of intrigue. However, investigation revealed that these striking formations are not extraterrestrial in origin. Instead, they are a rare natural occurrence known as fall streak holes, also referred to as holopunch clouds. These formations occur when part of the cloud layer forms ice crystals large enough to fall as a fall streak. This phenomenon takes place in clouds containing supercooled water droplets, where the water is below 0 degrees Celsius, but hasn't frozen yet. Given their infrequency, it's no wonder that the fishermen and others witnessing such sights initially entertain thoughts of alien activity or some otherworldly event. Nature, as always, has its ways of surprising and captivating us. Trail cameras indeed offer a fascinating glimpse into places and moments that humans might not physically witness. However, sometimes the images they capture can be unsettling and raise many questions. In a video from a Canadian forest, recorded at 5 in the morning, the trail camera provides a view of the deep woods illuminated only by its flash. As the clip unfolds, a mysterious figure moves through the trees in the distant darkness. Unfortunately, the darkness prevents a clear view of the creature's appearance or even its outline. Nevertheless, the creature appears slender and quite tall. From my perspective, it seems like a humanoid creature, or more precisely, a human. The intriguing part, however, lies in questioning the presence of a person in the middle of the forest at such an early hour. In a video that gained significant attention on the internet in 2015, a strange and eerie incident was captured inside an apartment in Malaysia. The footage, recorded by a security camera, unfolds in a kitchen where the apartment owner appears to be engrossed in preparing a meal. However, Something really unsettling is happening behind him. As the apartment owner continues his cooking tasks, a black smoky orb materializes behind him near the bedroom door. The orb seems to linger as the owner finishes preparing his meal, and curiously, it follows him when he enters the bedroom to retrieve plates. The dark figure remains present as the owner reemerges and heads to the dining room, with the mysterious orb trailing him. What makes this video particularly bizarre is that throughout the entire sequence, the homeowner seems completely unaware of the dark presence lurking behind him. It creates a chilling and surreal atmosphere as the homeowner goes about his routine, oblivious to the shadowy and unholy entity silently following his every move from the darkness. This video from Russia gives us a chilling glimpse into the intensity of a blizzard. The footage unfolds with a view of a village, where people are on the road recording something in the distance. Soon, the mysterious sight they were capturing reveals itself. A vast and formidable blizzard heading straight toward them. Rather than seeking shelter, these individuals remain in place, continuing to record. The blizzard swiftly approaches, covering everything in its path. The camera capturing the scene becomes hazy, and due to the blizzard, visibility drops to 0. It turns into a scene of pure horror, as the cameraman can't see anything around him, with the landscape becoming a blanket of white. It's important to note that winter storms like these bring heightened risks of car accidents, hypothermia, frostbite, and heart attacks from overexertion. So, I sincerely hope that the individuals in the video were aware of the potential dangers and took the necessary precautions, standing nonchalant in the face of the oncoming blizzard. I hope they are safe. Nature never ceases to amaze us, revealing things we never thought we'd witness. Take, for instance, this captivating video from a forest showcasing a honeybee hive on a tree. What makes it particularly intriguing is that the entire surface of the hive is covered with bees, forming a mesmerizing pattern resembling ocean waves. This wave-like display looks really strange. However, it is not a mysterious phenomenon. In fact, it's a clever defensive strategy employed by the bees. When threatened, honeybees create shimmering waves as a means of defense, especially against potential predators like wasps. The initiation of these social waves is set in motion by special agents on the surface of the nest. These agents are the first to flip their abdomens in response to a perceived danger, setting off a chain reaction that results in the spectacular wave pattern we witness in the video. For more captivating content like this, click here. Thank you for tuning in.